Hello, everybody. This is the WREXtra Time show. We have completed our match with Birmingham and we have had our first loss of the season. What can we do about that? Not much, but we are still first in the league, so we will not get too down on this one. Josh may be joining us for a short time a little bit later. Aaron will likely be in also when he finishes work. So let's have a chat and see what happened. First of all, let's see who's here. There's some of you already. Okay, James Lee. I'm not going to put this one up. Parky needs to have his ass chewed royal by leadership. That was the worst management job I have seen from him in 4 years. Okay. That's me live. Paja Taffy. Birmingham are a tough side, a bit dirty. Hello and welcome to the local pundit. I haven't recognized your name before. Root H, am I first? Maybe not. Madal was going to be a tough game. Ref was shite. Birmingham were on the dirty side. Yes, but the ref allowed it, so they kept doing it. So why would they stop? We can talk about that certainly. Hip Karma here. Excellent. Are you going to come on, Hip? I will put out the link very shortly. Tom Mantek, ref should have thrown cards earlier. Birmingham needs to learn how to stay on their feet. Agreed. More on that later. Madal, we're top of the league. Yep, we are still top of the league on goal difference. Frankie S is here we go. I'll put some up. It is what it is. We just turned over too much of our possession. No more than usual, but we didn't steal the possession back. We weren't pressing hard enough. We gave them too much space. We didn't close them down as a group. So, yeah. We're top of the league. Yes, Andy, let's keep it positive. Root. Ref let the game get out of hand, then wondered why players got physical. Hugh. Hello, Hugh. Hi, Paddy. Tom. What have we got from Tom here? But you know what? It could have been worse. Yes, it could have been higher score by Birmingham, player injuries. Let's be glad we did what we did. We'll take the positives out of it, and we will certainly look for it throughout the next hour or more. I have no particular time commitments tonight, so I can stay as long as everybody wants to. Hugh, seen no footage of the game. Okay, unfortunate that, Hugh. Marie from SoCal. At some point, I need a nap. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try and find where the stream link is. Okay, Marriott's goal. Did you see Marriott's goal? It was great. Yes, Tom, it was a fantastic goal. Excellent. And he just blasted it. He got on. Oh, my camera is gone. Hopefully my sound is okay. Let me just fix my camera. Boom, boom. There we go. I'm back. Ball bounced out and Marriott was coming in on the box and blasted it through all the defenders. Nothing that could have been done about it. It was fantastic. Invite link. Copy. Okay, guys, here is the link. Who wants to come on and chat with me so it's not just me talking to everybody? David Hilditch, that could have been a lot worse. They had a penalty shout for handball and the referee was generous to us, really. Didn't really see the penalty shout, but maybe I missed it a little bit. Howdy from Kai. Hewdy, great start, but now disappointed. Look, it was always going to be a tough match. We knew that. So it's okay. Definitely the best team we have had so far against us. And I do expect them to definitely be top 2 at the moment from what I've seen. Steel Sheen. WTF was that raining of the yellow cards? I haven't seen the game live. Gonna catch up on the replay. It was an interesting one because there wasn't any cards early. He was letting some silly tackles and silly drag downs go without calling yellow cards, and then it just started when McLean was dragged down. Okay, so we have our first guests coming on. So I'll just go through the basic rules, guys. If you are known to us, you can leave your camera off and we'll have a good chat. If you're not, we need the cameras on just to know who you are. On stream as well, let's be polite about it. And we will go from there. Let's be polite. Tom, love to have you on, buddy. Jump into our Discord, and we'll be able to have you on without camera, no bother whatsoever. Let's see how it goes. Okay, welcome, Hip Karma.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am alive and on the planet. It is 10 minutes past 7 on Tuesday morning for me, so I won't be on for too long. I am actually in office today, but look, we were going to lose at some point during the season. I would really prefer to lose to what's probably going to be the strongest or one of the strongest teams in the league than to have a shitty showing with a bottom team match. That's my philosophy. I'd rather lose to the strong people than have some of the shitty losses that we had, say, at the end of the National League when we thought we were going to win. I thought, and I said it in chat near the end of the watch along, they played dirtier than I thought they would. I mean, because when I just saw some of those takedowns and they really were like two hands on the shoulders, you're going down, taking you. Like, really? Really? That's a touch overt. Just a touch.
Well, it's not unheard of, but it's a professional foul and you take the yellow card with it. You do it to stop a breakaway. So, like, I don't mind the tackle so much and doing it. But the fact is the ref should have clamped down on it immediately. It's a straight yellow card. End of story. And then you have a choice. Do you want to take a red card next time? Or do you want to not do it?
Yeah.
So we've had situations not dragging people down like that, but we've taken professional fouls too.
We have.
I try and I don't particularly like them, but I understand why it's done sometimes. Sometimes you've no choice really, but
yeah, it was such a fast-paced game. I want to talk about some of the positives about it. I prefer not to reflect on the fact, like, we've lost, move on as far as I'm concerned, next match. But for some of the positives, it was fast. And we were fast with it for a good part of that game. Yeah. And I also liked that we brought in subs fairly early. To be fair, someone mentioned it in the chat on the watch along. I think I agree. I think Phil just took Macca off to save us and put a sub in, like get him off the field after that. That was fairly intense. What did you think of that?
Yeah, look, Macca is our guy, and I suppose he is the one to go in and do that. You know, he's kind of our enforcer. So if you've given him the role of enforcer, that's what he's going to do in these situations. He's going to stand up and say, it's not going to happen to our team. So unfortunate, but yeah, I kind of don't mind it too much at the end of that. But everybody else, like, do you know what I mean? Cannon getting into it, Mullen mouthing off at the ref afterwards, all of that. Look, it gets a bit much. Mullen taking a yellow for no reason, I think, is ridiculous.
I was going to ask that. I thought, am I just being a dumb noob here? Why is he getting a yellow for that when there was mouthing off happening to and fro, shall we say? At that point, there was a number of people giving back.
Yeah, my assumption is he got it for directing it at the ref. It's specifically towards the ref, not for back and forth with other players. So I don't think the camera caught it, what actually caused it. But he wasn't the only one. I think another player on their side got a yellow as well for similar, because the action was finished and then more cards were shown as well. So I think there was one each side for continuing afterwards. Normally it's at the ref. So You can't tell because we didn't see it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that. So I will ask dumb questions every now and then, and I freely own it.
Mullen has a habit of doing it, and I don't like it. Because the refs don't like him anyway. They don't give him fouls very often, so mouthing off is not helping him.
No.
And that's the problem.
I was a little concerned that it was going to be even more vigorous than it was at that point, shall we say?
Yes, I actually a fist going somewhere, or an elbow normally, because you can try and disguise an elbow. A little bit. Okay, L is coming in. Tom, I know I said you have to be on camera, but you were in the match the entire time, commenting the whole way. So look, if you want to jump back in, that's okay. With me this evening. So if you're still there, Tom, listening, jump on. What else from the match in particular did you spot, or you wanna?
I think for me the most impressive thing, particularly for the first half, was the speed at which it was played. Now, I had heard, because I don't watch Prem, I don't, and I have been told at every time we've leveled up that it's going to be faster. It's going to be faster. This is one of the first times that I've really thought, wow, actually, this is fast. And we were matching for a good majority of it. Their mindset is a different discussion, but the fact that they were going up and down the pitch, that they were challenging, I liked that. I was impressed with that. I was also impressed with the commitment that our team showed at the beginning to get out and make a statement. And they did. It was a statement goal, the first goal.
Yeah, they were quick.
They were. I was stunned. I was there thinking, oh God, I'm glad I'm settled on the lounge now with this and can watch it. There are a couple of my key points. Do we have someone else coming in?
Yeah, let's see if L is there. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you going? What do you think of the match?
Yeah, kind of to be expected, to be honest. Of course, I'm disappointed we did not win. But if there was any game to lose, it would be this one. So I'm not too disappointed with it. I thought we played very well the first 15 minutes. I was really surprised with the pressure we put on, but then, yeah, we just sat back and gave it away too much. Yeah, it might be coping. I think the ref might be a bit too hand wavy with some things here and there, but then again, we also got some leeway here and there. So
I've said it in other matches. Once you play the first 20 minutes of the match, you generally know what the ref is going to do. And once you know what the ref is do, you have to play to that level. So I don't mind Birmingham kind of pushing the limits there because they knew the ref was probably going to let them away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have to do the same. We have to step up and know that either A, we need to do the same, or they're going to do it to us and the ref is not going to give it. So, just get on with it.
Yeah, I think it's too easy to maybe blame it on the ref. Like, we should have played better. But of course, there's more things that influence the score at the end.
Yeah. What's our plan B?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's.
I mean,
that's
we could think. Yeah, we could think of a million things that could have been done differently, that Parky could do differently, but then in the end, is Parky gonna do things differently? That's another question.
No.
Yeah. So what can we do within the constraints of Parky? Like, maybe a different lineup from the start, but then again, they played well.
Then you've changed the winning team. You've changed the winning team then, yeah.
But now we're not a winning team anymore, so.
Yes. Well, now it can be changed up, of course, if he wants to try Scar, maybe. Maybe Scar gets his shot now. Hipcammer, what do you think on that, having no plan B? Do you think we just need to accept the fact that we're going to play our game no matter what and we're going to lose some matches?
Yes, frankly. I think it says everything that tactically Birmingham changed their structure and their formation to match us this match. This wasn't the formation they'd previously been playing. And they changed it for us. So they know that what we're doing and what Parky has been doing consistently has been effective. You cannot argue that. We are top of the table.
Yeah.
So do we need to have a plan B? I don't know that we do. We have changed formations during games before. This is simply a game where we had quality players, but we also had quality players against us. We will not win every match. And this is the one thing that I kind of accept from the get-go. And I recognize that other passionate fans don't necessarily accept, but I do. And you've heard me say it before. This is a season. We will not win every match in the season as long as we win at the end.
Yes, exactly. Hey, Stace, how are you doing?
Hi, how are we?
Floor is yours.
I'm actually quite calm. Usually I'd be coming in ranting and raving, but to be perfectly honest, you can't really argue with that. You know, as a championship side, it's set up as a championship side, and I think they're one of the toughest teams we were going to come against alongside Huddersfield as well. I still think Huddersfield are probably going to finish above Birmingham, so they're our next tough opponent. Fucking hell, I can't speak. Opponent. So, yeah, I thought the first 10 minutes we played some beautiful football. We really did. We kept control of the ball. We played, you know, very quick of switching plays as well. I was quite impressed. Really lovely to watch. Then they got their goal and we just lost our heads like we tend to usually do, to be honest. And just from then, from 1-1, I just, not to be negative, I just knew that was it from the way we were playing, to be honest. I thought O'Connell made, not going to call out names and be horrible, but just to point out a few things that I noticed personally myself. O'Connell made a few mistakes. We left Stansfield wide open quite a lot as well. We didn't keep an eye on him. He got so much space. It, you know, it's a player like that is miles above our players, and you just can't give him that kind of space. And if you go into, you're gonna lose potentially, just like we have tonight. And you know, you can't argue with that result. You can't. I'm going to be humble about it. Birmingham are a championship side. Yeah, they dropped down, but they've got championship players. I know we have, but their players are again above level than ours. So you really can't fucking argue with that. You can't. I'll take that loss. We're still top of the table. Move on. Get over it. Crawley next.
Yes. Do we need to have a plan B, Stace?
With our squad depth, like, it's pretty insane, you know, and I don't think we utilised it enough tonight. I really don't. I felt like our midfield was quite leaky at points as well. I think Rathbone played quite well, but he's a McLean 2.0 and we need to keep an eye on him. Definitely. But yeah, we did not utilise our squad depth whatsoever tonight, in my opinion. I felt like a few of our players were quite sloppy as well. I personally would have liked to see Cannon start today, just to keep that balance a bit more. I know Rathbone has been literally everywhere over the pitch the last couple of games, but I still prefer Cannon at the moment to how he plays and how he plays with the rest of the lads. He just fits in nicely, doesn't he? So yeah, I just don't think we utilised our squad depth at all.
Yeah, I don't think we have an obvious plan B that would have changed anything. You know,
I don't know.
Our style is our style. And I think looking at the teams around us, none of the teams around us have particularly impressed me until Birmingham today.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right, Sheldon. Like, or Paddy, Sheldon / Paddy. I keep calling you Sheldon because that's how I know you. Yeah, you're right. I honestly think our toughest games are Birmingham and Huddersfield. I really do. I think Huddersfield is going to give us a run for our fucking money as well.
But
Definitely.
here's a simple fact, though. We can lose to Birmingham both matches. We can lose to Huddersfield both matches and win the league.
Yep.
It is still possible to do. It is like, obviously you don't want to be in that scenario. You want to be taking draws and balancing out your points against the biggest teams. But if you are more consistent about against beating the mid and the lower teams, then you can be up there. So it's not the end of the world, and we're not going to beat every single team who's likely going to be in the top either.
No.
So people who expect that are a little crazy.
I also think Stockport are going to do a lot better than us as well, to be perfectly honest. Again, another team that's set up way better than we are. I hate to say it, but it's true. I think we might find that a bit tough going into, but again, it's a team that we know quite well, going head to head. So you never know with Stockport and Wrexham. It could go either way, to be honest, with both of ours. But yeah, I honestly, from watching us from the get-go, I think we're going to do a lot better than what I originally thought. We gelled really, really quickly with our new signings as well. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I really do. But like you said, I totally agree. We don't need a plan B when we're playing teams like that because there isn't one.
Yeah. Stockport are a good benchmark to have. What do you guys think, Hip and El? Are we going to finish above them? Or are they going to end up being too consistent?
I think we can end up above them, but I'm not sure. It kind of depends how we match up against other teams, to be honest, like Huddersfield and stuff like that. Because I feel like Stockport can be very consistent, but can they have those peaks to beat teams like Birmingham and Huddersfield? Like, I think we might be able to get a win in against Huddersfield and Birmingham at some point if we played well. I'm not sure if Stockport can also do that. So it kind of just depends how the season goes.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Mr. Stats Guru. How has Stockport gone against Birmingham? Have they played them yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
have they
yet.
played Huddersfield yet?
No, I don't think
No.
so. Stockport have, in theory, had an easier run of games so far. And they are running into some harder games now in the next few. So
Interesting.
yeah, so Birmingham is running into harder matches. Stockport is running into harder matches. We, in theory, are running into easier matches. So about the 10-11 match mark is where it'll really be interesting to see the balance, because we've had some hard and easy, and all the teams should be balancing out with a mix of hard and easy by that point. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think.
Can I say something about the? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I spoke at the same time as you. Go on.
I was gonna say, talking about we're allowed to lose games. I did some calculations. I looked at Parky's statistics so far with us, like how many games we won, drew, and lost under him. And of course, there are different leagues, but based on that, we should lose about 7 games this season, which should still, with all the other games calculated, we would end up with like 99 points by the end of it, based on what I kind of calculated. I think that would be enough to promote.
That
theoretically.
Theoretically, that's around the number you want to promote. Yes.
But then, it's all numbers and theory, of course. But yeah, just based on what we know, we should be able to do it, even with 7 losses like that.
Yeah, you have availability of about 7-8 losses to get up into potentially the top 2. Yeah. I'm going to bring in Nick here. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
How's it going, man? Oh, that was rough. That was super rough. Although
Yes.
I think I'm glad we lost now instead of losing, right maybe when we're getting into those Huddersfield and Charlton games. Because if we have a bad run of form there, we might just, screw the season. So I'm not exactly thrilled that we lost, but maybe it's not the worst time to lose. So I don't know.
Okay. Is anybody unhappy with a run of 4-1-1 with the teams we've played?
No.
Did
No.
anyone
No,
expect to be near this?
No,
Definitely not.
To be honest, League One is a tough league to be in. It's also a tough league to get out of. And when we first got promoted, I said I'd be happy mid-table because of how tough it can be. But how we've started and got started, like, you can't be unhappy with that. We've done really well to show, we are a team that are worth a competition, like we're going for it. So I'm not unhappy at all. I'm not really even that mad about tonight's result, to be honest. Again, championship side, you can't be unhappy with that. Yeah, it's shit losing. And yeah, I do get annoyed sometimes when it looks like we're not trying, because at times tonight we look like we just couldn't be arsed at some points. But yeah, not unhappy, Paddy.
Crawley in the next match. How do we all feel about that at home? They just drew with Stockport.
Yeah, do you know what? They're starting to pick up a little bit, aren't they? Last season they weren't that terrible. We were talking about this, weren't we, Paddy? Like, they were having a bit of trouble at the club and whatever, dropping players like flies. And I thought, God, going into League One, they're going to be absolutely dreadful. But they've picked up, and I don't think it's going to be as easy a game as people think, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be a pretty dangerous game. They're going to come in thinking, hey, they just lost to Birmingham. Maybe, we show up at their home pitch and, just embarrass us. So it depends on how we practice this week and if we can get our heads in the game, I believe. So.
Yeah, beforehand, I would think Crawley would have been an easy game, but based on how they have done so far, and I think it will be a bit harder than we initially thought. But I think we have something to prove now that we're still in this league, so I think we'll come in swinging, though.
Yeah, I was at the Crawley match at home last season, and we handled them easily. I do feel they're the type of team that we should get on okay against. Looking at the defense that we've had so far this season, I think we should be able to handle them, but of course there's no guarantee. And we would want to get back onto a winning run by taking them out at the next match.
Do you think we'll see a different lineup now that we are not a winning team anymore and Crawley isn't qualitatively the best team, so we have opportunity to change things around?
I think the only change I would make would be Cannon on for Rathbone, personally, if he's got it in him, if he's fit enough. Other than that, I wouldn't make any changes.
What do you think about Scar, maybe, coming on?
I would consider Scar.
Yeah, that wasn't a fantastic performance by O'Connell today, was it really? There was a few... There's a few things that got me shouting at the screen at him. Yeah, I was supposed to be going tonight, but the coaches pick you up at 3 p.m. and I was still in work, so work's got to come first, otherwise you can't buy your tickets, can you? So I'm a bit annoyed about that. But yeah, O'Connell, you can't lay into him too much because he's been solid for us for such a long time, but today he was just messy in parts.
Yeah, I don't think we can blame him because it was a hard game, but maybe we need to give Scar a chance to see what he can do. In my opinion.
Yeah, That's my opinion. I think this is potentially just the opening that's needed to give Scar a chance, because potentially the level he's at, he does need to get a shot, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, interesting here. I just saw from Mad Al. Apparently, there's a cool clip of a Brum fan throwing a beer can at McLean, and he caught it and put his thumbs up. It'll be all over socials tomorrow, so have a look out for that one. That'll be fun. And I'm sure that will end up in our Discord, guys, once someone finds a clip of it. So anybody who may not be in the Discord, go ahead and join us if you'd like to. We have a fun group in the Discord, chat all about Wrexham, of course, but we do have some other channels just for general chit chat, if anybody's interested. So I will drop a link in.
That was
a lot
smooth.
of people are in there, wasn't it?
That was smooth. Yeah, it was. I'm impressed.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Okay.
If you want to see me ranting and raving in Discord, then join, because I'm in there ranting and raving quite a lot.
Okay, what about O'Connor? With O'Connell as well. How did we feel he did?
Better than O'Connell. If he did make a couple of mistakes, but with the mistakes he made, he fought back and tried, where O'Connell was like, fuck it, kind of attitude, and just dropped it. I can't really argue with O'Connor, to be honest. He tried his hardest. And Max, solid again for us, really. He made some immense tackles tonight.
Scar was on the bench tonight, but wasn't used. Do we think he should have come on?
I'm not sure if that would have made the difference, but
no.
Why not?
Yeah, bad
I guess.
start. Bad game to start him, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. That's kind of why, though, I would put him on the next match. Give him a shot.
Yeah, I'd rather see him start than just come in halfway through. It's kind of tough with
a tough match.
Center halves to just come in halfway through the game, I think.
I found the video of McLean. I just posted it to Discord.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend. Oh, one thing that I thought we could have done more of was use our wingers a little bit more. We didn't, as much as I would like to switch the play quicker. I've noticed that in a few of our games recently, that we don't switch the play and use our wingers fast enough. Same issue again tonight. I've got to give a shout out to my friend Mendy. I thought he looked really good when he came on.
Yeah,
he looked very lively.
Quick. He looked
better than I thought he would. Yeah,
he's looking really quick.
You can't really get
like
it to
he
the
came out of
wingers
his
if you can't make
recovery very well.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said it looks like he came out of his recovery very well, because the games he's been on, he seemed very lively, very active. So
yeah,
I'm really impressed.
He's been working out a lot more as well. He's just looking extra beefy as well. He's been working really hard, bless him. And it's nice to see him come on and looking so well. So I'm really pleased for him. Again, I'm biased though, aren't I? So
yeah. G is saying Brunt and Scar need to start along with Max. I guess that comes down to how Brunt is in training. But as you're saying, like, you think O'Connor's doing okay, maybe doesn't deserve to lose that spot just yet.
No, and also with our team, it's very much about being gelled. If you look at Jack Marriott, he struggled last season when he came on, and I did say he's the type of player, and a lot of our players, that they need to be able to gel and work as a team better and not just come in straight away and play brilliant with a click of the fingers. So I think changing our back three, that significantly might upset the team quite a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, especially because our defense has been looking good so far. So if we change it up completely, or 2 out of the 3 back three, then I think it might be too much of a change for us.
Yeah. Maybe just one of them, Dan Scar. I'm not sure about Brunt at the moment, if I'm honest. I don't think we've seen enough of him, so I can't really
Yeah.
comment. But I know we haven't watched Dan Scala either that much, but probably like to see him have a couple of runs out, even the last 10 minutes or so for O'Connell in one of our games would be nice to see how he gets on. But again, from a comment before, you've got to be really careful with our team because it's all about their relationships and how they gel as well to be able to play well. Because look at Jack Marriott now, he's flying. It's
Yeah.
just
Yep.
how our team works as well on bonds and relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
That's an interesting one you just mentioned there. I'm going to add Hill's comment here. Need a win against Crawley to keep this and keep the same lineup. Give them a chance to make it up. Yes, I kind of agree. Well, look, that's one way of looking at it, and I don't disagree with that as an idea. But you mentioned Mullen then as well. Would you put Mulls on for the next match?
No,
Marriott
I
scored
think
again.
No,
yeah, no,
Marriott
I
deserves that
wouldn't.
spot.
Why would you give Jack Marriott's place up when he is showing that he belongs in the startup? That lad has got 20 goals in him this season. Don't bring Mullen on. I don't think Mullen's fully fit yet anyway.
I
So
don't think he's
he's
fully
not quite ready. No, he's not
Just
quite
put
ready. You
Mullen
can
on
just see
instead of
it.
Palmer.
No, absolutely not. No, Marriott needs a physical striker next to him, just like Mullen does, and I don't think they'd work very well together, Mullen and Marriott, with the likes of Marriott and Mullen and Palmer.
Mhm.
I've lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Yeah, putting the two players on together, Marriott and Mullen. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It would have happened by now, I think, if he was going
Yeah,
to do it. He's had
Yeah.
enough
it'll never
time,
happen.
I'm just
and
holding out
certainly over
hope.
the summer. Yeah. Well, then you kind of have to hope for an injury, which is unfair. But
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Mullen
uh,
and Marriott are very much the type of players that need that physical striker next to them to create those spaces and chances for them, and that's why Ollie works so well in that position. And so far this season, he's been doing really well at that as well.
in that vein, then, what about Mo? Were you surprised that he didn't sit on the bench tonight? And will we see him on the bench again next match?
No,
I
I
think
wasn't really surprised because I think Mullin needs to have a few runs out to get more fitter. And Fletcher Mullin, again, is down to knowing your teammates, isn't it? They know how to play with each other. So I think just give it a little bit more time and you'll probably see him with maybe Fletcher or Mullin. But I don't think he'll be on the bench with Crawley, no.
Okay.
yeah, he didn't really shine during that cup game, so I did not expect him to be on the bench. I think it will take some time before we see him again.
He's very green, but with a bit of coaching from Fletch and a few others, I think he will have his time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of potential for sure.
Okay, sorry guys. Connor had high stats. Don't think we changed things up too much. We are still 4-1-1, and Crawley is a team we should beat. Yes, so our next teams then, to go a little past Crawley, I have up here. We have Crawley at home, Leighton Orient away, Stevenage away, and then Northampton at home. So that is the next four. Are they all winnable?
Yes, I think so.
Banana peels, anyone worried about them? Or do we go on a run here?
I don't think we can solidly ever say with Wrexham yes, to be honest. It's very much how we perform on the day. You know, we could, for example, we could have absolutely smashed Birmingham today, who are a championship side, and then played Crawley on Saturday and lost because that's how we are. So it's a very hit and miss. So I wouldn't be overly confident in saying we're going to beat anyone, to be honest. I'm just going to ride it out and see how we get on.
Okay.
I think they are
Stevenage did
winnable.
all right last season.
That's true.
They did do okay last season. God, I hate their manager.
Al, anything to add there before I move on?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure much. I don't know much about their manager. So, yeah, I was just gonna say that I think they are winnable, but I'm not sure if we will win them. But on paper, they look winnable for sure.
3 wins and a draw, or 3 wins and a loss, good enough?
I would be happy with that. Yeah, with the draw, with the loss, not so much, but with the draw, I can handle that.
Nick, you still here? Nick's out. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I think we definitely need a win next week to get our groove back, for lack of a better term. I think if we draw next week at home, it's gonna take too big of a shot to our, to our mental state after that one. So, anyway, that's my thoughts.
Okay. Interesting question here from Will Iambo. He threw in a super chat. Thank you very much. $5. Irish, which I assume is me. If we had to buy a player after this game, what position would you change? Where is our weakest position after seeing some matches? Throwing it out there, guys.
That's really hard to
It is tough
to comment on because up until tonight we've been pretty solid everywhere, even up front. And we were worried at the start of the season with Mullin out and whatever, but Ollie and Marriott have been smashing it. We've got a tight midfield, even tighter defenders in the back. So I think that's really hard to comment on with just one game that we've done absolutely shite in tonight against the championship side. So I couldn't comment where we're weak after one bad game.
Yeah. If there would be anyone, I would say the Palmer role, because after those first 20 minutes, he just kind of chasing ghosts. But the rest of the season has been good, so we don't necessarily need anyone else there. But if I had to pick someone, it would be that Palmer role.
We're not friends anymore.
I'm sorry. I was just talking about this game, not the rest of the season. Okay.
He's one of my favourite players. He's very underrated for his job role. A lot of people were moaning he doesn't score enough goals, but they don't see the bigger picture of how important he is for our team. With just even off the ball, creating those spaces for Mullin. If he didn't do that, Mullin probably wouldn't have got all the goals that he did. So he's really underrated. He's one of my favourite players.
Well, he can't score a goal if we don't get past midfield, more than 3 times in a match. So,
Well,
he has shit luck with the midfield delivering it to him sometimes. They just bash it to him because he's tall and it doesn't fall right with him. That's true. It's not necessarily him to be blamed. I'd probably blame the midfield with their deliveries half the time.
Well, with the proviso that he has been playing much better this season so far, it would be Palmer that I would upgrade. And part of the reason is because, as you said, he is so important to the team that you would be wanting another version, a better version of him. I just think he is a little too slow. He's good at what he does. He's important in the team. He's playing much better this season. But if I had to choose, I would want an upgrade and a direct Palmer. Whether we can find it or not, that seems to be the problem we had in the summer. We couldn't find a direct replacement or upgrade, let's say, rather than replacement.
Yeah, I think that was the issue. That there were some strikers out there that we were going after, but realistically, they weren't like a physical player like Ollie, where they were more like a Mullin, which wouldn't probably work next to Mullin and Jack Marriott. So potentially, half the time Parkin might have said, I've actually fucking changed my mind. That's probably not going to work. So we're not having much luck there.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many physical strikers, really, at the moment.
Did our midfield do enough in this match, or were they just simply outclassed? Were they as good as they always are, and Birmingham were the better team, or did they not step up to the mark today?
I found we were leaky in parts. When we were using midfield, which seemed to be a lot instead of the wingers, we were just letting that ball run right through it at times. The first 10 minutes, I thought they played very, very well, and kept hold of that ball and moved it around the pitch very well. But yeah, as time went on, I just think Birmingham's midfield were just far better than ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
After they got their goal, they were just too quick. They were pumped up for the match. You know, they were getting the passes, and we just weren't intercepting him at that point.
No.
I think Dobson was doing his very best. He got onto some nice. He got his foot onto the ball, but it just wasn't enough. And at some point, that wasn't going to work. I think. I knew we were going to run into a match like this. Not necessarily Birmingham, but yeah, I'm actually happy it was Birmingham over a weaker team. So far, what you might call a weak team has not turned us over. So yeah, you take the positives from it.
I thought Rathbone had a few decent moments as well. You know, he didn't give up. If he made a mistake, he chased after it, to be fair to him. But again, at some points, I felt like he was just chasing a fly, is the best way to describe it. But at least he tried. He also gave it a good go.
Yeah, I would say that at points we simply weren't working as a team in the press. We weren't trying to get the press back as a team. And when we weren't doing anything, it was individuals that seemed to be pressing.
Do we think that were directions by Parky or just the team being overwhelmed?
I don't.
I think we're just not used to losing, and it caught up with us.
I think when we did have the ball, we didn't switch the play quick enough. We held on to the ball a little bit too long and lost possession very quickly. Where, you know, when we do play football and switch the play very, very quickly, we play a lot better. There seems to be a running theme when we hold on to the ball and lose possession. That's it, we're fucked. Like, just hold it too long, which is what happened tonight as well.
Yeah. George here. I feel like we reverted back to our National League offense. Kick it over the top, which I think will not work in League One. Don't know that I totally agree with that. I think we were, again, aiming our shots over the top. We were looking to get it to a player. But interesting point. Guys?
I don't think I agree with that either. I think Birmingham made us look like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, but we weren't playing like how we were in the National League, because first of all, we fucking won the National League. Like, we played very well, just to point that out. But I think Birmingham made us look the weaker team, when in fact we're not. We were just off in some points because they were a lot pacier. We don't have a lot of pacey players, which they just run riot with us in that respect as well. And they were very quick in switching the play, that we just couldn't keep up with that.
Yeah. George, again, we played over the top in the last 2 seasons in the National League, and it worked for us. Yes, I think we are still playing over the top, but we are using it more sparingly. We are looking to see what's available and going over the top when we feel like we have an opening, would be how I see it at the moment.
And also a bit more precise, I would say.
Yeah, I felt like Birmingham, when they went into the final third, they utilised it, where when we were entering that final third, we just didn't utilise it enough at all. So again, another plus for Birmingham. They knew exactly what they needed to do there, and they did it.
Yeah. George is hitting them out of the park again. This is
What,
going to sound
George?
This is going to sound counterintuitive, but I think we were too aggressive on defense today. We overran the player with the ball often and gave them lanes into the box.
That's somewhat true. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
do
sure
you know
about
what?
that.
At points, you're
Hmm.
right. At points, you are definitely right there. I'd say, again, some of our defenders held on to the ball a little bit too fucking long. It was a bit annoying at times. And that just gave Birmingham the get out of free jail card, so to speak, to go straight through. So, yeah, I'd agree with that in some parts. Not all, but some parts.
I like this comment from Kai. It's hard to say what needs changing after a game like this. I need to see a banana peel slip to really see where we are weak. I agree with a lot of that. Is this a game we just say, okay, we got beaten, let's ignore it and just keep playing?
I love that banana peel split. Love it.
Banana peel slip.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, yeah, of course we are weaker to a team that's 4 times the value of our team. Like,
God, yeah.
what do you expect? So yeah, it's kind of hard to say what the actual weak spots are. There's definitely improvements we can pick up from this match. Put more pressure on other teams. Make sure we don't fall down too deep. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what the actual weak points are, I think.
I think we need to give a shout out to Arthur Okonkwo. I don't think he could have done anything tonight. That shot by Alfie May was like handbreaker shot, and he saved it. And unfortunately, he couldn't have kept hold of that because it was such a smasher. And then of course
No, he
Stansfield
should have
on the
directed it
counter.
away, Stacey. He
He
should have
what?
directed it away.
Yeah.
You should have
You
caught
should
it.
have, but imagine that hitting your head like that.
Oh,
Fucking hell! I went ooh. Like, it was a
You're
riff
supposed to catch
breaker,
the
that
bullet
shot.
between your teeth.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Arthur could have done anything different. I
I
really
don't think.
don't.
Yeah, no goalie in this league would have kept that. So
No.
Yeah, he got extremely close with the other goal as well that went in the netting, right inside the post.
Yeah.
He got down, he got close to it, but it was a perfect shot.
Yeah, it was really close.
So he did do really well. I know we were getting trolled just a little bit in the chat about AO. AO has his weaknesses. He's not a perfect keeper. And again, I would say that coming out in and capturing the ball when it's coming across his 6-yard box is something maybe he needs to work on. He stays on his line a lot, but he's a shot stopper. And before the match, I mentioned that if we can keep Birmingham at bay and make them take the long range shots, then we have to rely on AO to stop them. And in the majority, he did that.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he probably learned his lesson about staying near his line after the Blackburn fucking FA Cup game. Oh my God, when he came out to almost bloody the halfway line. I was at that game and I seen him running. I was right behind the goal, right behind him as well. I seen him run. I was like, please don't fucking get back and get back. And then he just no. I was like, oh my God, that is such a huge error. So I think since then, you've not seen him doing it that much. Bless
Yeah.
him. He's only young. He's got so much potential. He's such a good goalkeeper.
Dave disagrees. Possibly Arthur Okonkwo's young and inexperienced cost us tonight for the first
No.
goal, possibly the
No.
second.
No, you can't blame him for them.
I don't agree.
No way could he have directed that ball away or stopped it and held it in his hands. Alfie May smashed that fucking ball. There's no way he could have done anything different. And Stansfield was right there. O'Connell could have done more.
Yeah.
To block Stansfield. Again, probably an error by him. You can't blame those on Arthur at all.
One
he
step
did his
too
best.
late.
Yeah. He
One
did his
step
best.
behind.
Yeah.
Kelly, I think we got Birmingham one game too late. I think folks will point to this match and say this is where Birmingham clicked. Maybe.
Well,
They certainly
wouldn't have
stepped up to the pressure and the game and the atmosphere. Would be,
Yeah.
I would say.
They also wouldn't have
true.
Stansfield a game before, right?
Yes. Yeah. Stansfield played in the
Interesting.
cup.
Interesting.
Okay.
I was watching on Sky Sports and Ben Tozer was commenting, and I don't remember her name, but the other commenter said, "Do you think scoring so early for Wrexham was detrimental to them with losing their heads?" And Ben Tozer said, "Yeah, pretty much. I think so. I think we scored too early," which was an interesting comment to me.
We're used to sitting back after we score that first goal, and because we've been playing these easier teams, and maybe they just got a little bit too comfortable.
There's some truth to that, but I think either way, we would have been put on a lot of pressure like we have been this time.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier in the week that in the stats show, I think it was actually, where we were talking about Birmingham coming back with their next goal when you score on them really quickly. So it's not unexpected, and the entire team and Parky and everybody should have known it just by the simple basic stats of when they score. That if you they are leaky, they will allow you to score on them, but once you do, they become really vicious in getting that goal back. It doesn't usually last very long before they break teams down. It gives them the impetus and the pressure that they need, I guess, and they did it to us. Didn't take them that long. We should have expected it.
But
They
should we have
figured us out
waited with
quite
scoring then?
No.
Yeah.
But look, these
Like-
things happen. We've done it to teams in the past. You know, we've done it in the other leagues, pulling 2 goals back late. So Birmingham probably going to be up top of the table at the end of the season. It's not unexpected.
No, I did say they'll probably get promoted before the season started, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, they look really clinical. You just can't be mad at that, can you, against a team like that? You know, we've jumped up the lead so quick as
Yeah.
well. So, you know, we're pretty green to League One, and they're not really, are they? You know, their championship team, they've dropped down to League One. It's going to probably be a very easy run for them.
I guess we
It
finally
should
got our
be.
welcome to League One. just not by Posh. Sorry,
It's more like welcome to the championship, it felt like.
Yes,
Right,
actually, yeah. We got a
true.
welcome to the championship, maybe.
That's true.
Every
Okay.
time Tom Brady came on the screen when Birmingham scored, and David Beckham and Gary Neville, I had my middle finger up going, fuck off, you cunt. Pardon my French. Pissing me off, stupid faces on the TV.
George, I'm putting up all your comments today, so do you want to come join us? Are you free? With all that said, I think we will pull points in all of the next 4 games, wins at home, and at minimum draws on the road. That would be nice. Yes, it would. With that being said, let's assume that happens or something similar to it. Are we comfortable now, from what we've seen, that we'll be in around the playoffs? Let's not worry about the top 2 just for the moment, because that gets a bit crazy talk too early. But are we comfortable that there isn't enough teams to knock us out of the playoffs, assuming we don't go on a massive down spiral?
Yeah,
I think if
I'd
we can
like
make
to.
it through. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was thinking if we can make it through October without a loss, or at least not any more than one, then we've got a good shot at making the playoffs with all the teams we're playing in October. So, I mean, you got Lincoln City, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Charlton, and Mansfield, and then Stockport in November. So
We can afford a loss.
That's what I'm saying. If we have more than one, then, you know, maybe, I don't know. If we've only got one after all that, I think we're going to be sitting pretty good. So.
I'd like to see us play a few more games first before I'd give an answer to that, because I think we haven't had it really difficult against some teams so far. No offense to any teams we've played so far, apart from tonight. I thought Wickham looked pretty good actually when we played them. They weren't terrible. But other than that, a few of the teams we've played look like dog shit, like Shrewsbury, for example. They're definitely going down. I'm saying it now. I'm calling it. They're going down. So I'd like to see us play a couple more games, and then I'll give you a solid answer of how I'm feeling, playoffs or not. But I think with the run that we've had and the confidence the lads have got right now, I don't think they will have a confidence battering after tonight, especially a team like that. They probably were expecting it to be very, very tough. So I think they'll go into Saturday full of confidence, to be honest, especially with a home game as well. So I think we've got a good chance. I do. But let's see how the next couple of games go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for a little context there, and then I'll throw it back to the boys. In order to get into the top 6 in playoffs, on average, you need to win 21 matches, and you can have about 14 losses across the season, and you will make it into 6th place into a playoff. So does that sound more achievable, or does it make you more confident, less confident?
Sounds very
Of
doable
playoffs.
to me.
Yeah, it sounds doable to me too.
If we don't
Yeah.
see any crazy injuries or anything happen, I think it will definitely be doable.
See, I'm a little bit more optimistic for being a Wrexham fan for so long. I know how we can fucking turn the tables and drop off so quick. So I'm not going to jinx us and stay quiet on that one.
I don't see currently enough teams that I worry about being ahead of us on the table that will end up with 14 losses. Now, maybe that's naivety, possibly, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about listing 7 teams that maybe are better than us and could end up higher than us on the leaderboard, we can lose to every one of them, home and away, and still get enough points to get into the top 6. So I'm positive on it now. Having looked at the start and having looked at the teams around us, I was much more negative. I was giving a lot of teams stronger opinions on how they would do, but they've started really badly. Maybe it's still early. They'll possibly come good. Me for one, I'm much more positive of a playoff spot.
I've got a question for you all. So obviously there are teams that are probably going to do very well, and we can see that now anyway from the start, like Birmingham, Stockport, Huddersfield, for example. Is there any teams you think that are going to surprise us all and do very well?
Probably, but that's the point. Is if it's a surprise, then you can't really see it.
Yeah.
I
Can you see
can't
the
really
future, Sheldon?
pick. Yeah, I don't have one in mind that I think would be a shocker. You know, not from what I've seen so far because they're so poor. Like the shocker for me at the moment is Bolton. They're gonna lose their manager soon.
Yeah. He's a dick anyway. See you later. He is. Trying to think of a team that's going to surprise me, maybe.
It's hard to say. Yeah. Of course, if it's a surprise, like we won't see coming, but
I think so. I said at the start of the season, Peterborough might do quite well because they've got a very good team as well. But after watching their last
they
few
like
games,
shit against us, so
I'm quite surprised. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna finish as high as what I thought at the start of the season.
Yes. Yeah.
Would Rotherham be surprised if they get their stuff together with all the new signings they have?
I'd probably say they might finish mid-table. I think, looking at their signings, that I think mid-table, possibly for Rotherham, maybe I don't know, 9th, 10th,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Probably.
I mean, to be honest, Crawley surprised me last season. They just all of a sudden fucking came out of
really.
nowhere. I honestly thought Crewe were gonna get that last place to get promoted, and they surprised me. So you just never know.
I absolutely put Crawley down as being in the relegation this season. And I'm very surprised by them at the moment. I don't think they're going to be high in the table, but I do think they'll end up comfortable just outside the relegation.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Which is interesting because then you're saying that all 4 of the teams that have come up are likely not going to go down. Does anybody think Mansfield will go down?
No, I think they might be at the fringe of there, but I haven't really seen them play this season yet, so I haven't really looked at their games.
Okay. Webby, let's have a look at Webby's comment. 1 loss doesn't make Wrexham a bad team. Yes, absolutely. You're a quality team, and I still think you'll get automatic. Ooh, that's an interesting take. Also, people need to get a grip and lay off AO. There's been a lot of comments in about AO, and I didn't show a lot of them. But actually, yes, there's been a lot of comments on AO there. But leaving AO aside for the moment, what do we think of that? Automatics, second? That's a tough
I don't
ask.
dare say.
Yeah, it's a tough ask at this point.
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't.
I don't think we'll get automatic, to be honest. But who knows? And you all know that I very much back the lads, even when we're playing shit.
Yeah.
I was at that Salford game where we played absolutely shit, and I had a fellow Wrexham fan that stood next to me hurling abuse at Arthur Okonkwo, and it was disgusting. And I actually spoke to Aaron Hayden and Jacob Mendy at the game after that. Was it the Crawley game? I can't remember. And they were really upset by it. It really affected them, the abuse that was getting shouted at them, and it really pissed me off. So I'm very much a fan that is, have a little whinge to your mates and whatever, how shit we play, but I'm not for shouting abuse at the players because it does affect them mentally, and then it affects their gameplay, and then it affects our moods because we're fucking losing. So don't do it.
Okay, Aaron has a little bit of a hot take here. Aaron, are you going to make it in, or are you still busy? Okay, he thinks Stockport is overhyped. They've not played a single side that he would consider a playoff contender yet.
I think with them having Louis Barry, if he stays fit, they are going to do very fucking well. He's probably one of the best strikers in League One. If he gets injured, I will probably say they might start to struggle then. But with Louis Barry continuously playing, they are a side to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think in general, if they don't have injury problems that hurt their team, they're a very consistent side.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They will draw. They can drop some points here and there, but I think consistency will be the key this season. And one thing I did mention as well before the season started, when I was looking at all the teams, and everybody kept mentioning some different teams, and we could have 12 teams going for the playoffs, is if they actually turn out to all be strong, they could all be taking points off each other, and it could be a relatively low points total needed to sneak into the playoffs. So that's also a possibility. Now, maybe Stockport and one or two other, sorry, not Stockport, maybe Birmingham and one or two others could run away with it, leaving the final three playoff spots. And then there could be a very low tally needed to get in there if all the teams keep taking points off each other, which so far they're doing. They're not scoring highly just yet. Not enough teams are breaking away just yet.
It is an interesting league for sure. Seeing the results up to now.
Another team I'm very surprised at the moment is Lincoln City. I believe, and don't quote me on this, but the last time I looked, after our game tonight, they've got the same results as us in the last 5. So win 3, lose 1, and draw 1. And I think they're in 6th or 7th at the minute. And that's a team that's very much surprised me as well. So, yeah, it's too early to tell who's going to be up there and who's going to get the playoffs, because there are a couple of teams that are surprising me at the minute with some results.
Okay. Another comment here following on from that. We must stay on the top 2 auto-promote. Our luck isn't great in the playoffs. Nick agrees, not great. And then he follows up with, I was just about to say that 2nd is our only hope of going up, probably. Does anybody think they're that pessimistic about getting into the playoffs and not a hope of going up?
It's not the only hope.
Well, no, I was exaggerating a bit. We don't do well in playoffs usually.
No. I mean, it's not our only hope. Because we technically have a chance in the playoffs. And we'll have to see how we perform if we get there.
Yeah. I think if we're playing well enough to get into the playoffs, then we have a fairly decent shot of getting through it.
It also depends who we face there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, what if we got Birmingham?
Exactly.
as much as I would love to see Birmingham not make automatics, I do not want to end up in the playoffs with them.
Yeah, that would be a very tough game.
Yeah, well, that's how you write a Hollywood story, is you have Birmingham and us in the playoff final at Wembley.
And ended with penalties?
Oh, penalties, yeah, why not? But then you have AO save us and become
exactly. Yep. We first get the replay of him not making that save this game, and then we see him catching that final ball in the penalty shootout. Yep. That's it. It just writes itself.
It writes itself, yeah. Stockport doesn't play a contender until mid-October. Okay. Damn. That means they're going to run into some serious back-to-back matches.
When are we playing Huddersfield?
Huddersfield, I can have a look here.
October 23rd, I think.
Because I do wonder how we match up against them, considering, like, see how we stand in the potential first 2 spots.
October
22nd, Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game coming up.
I'm going to be at the Charlton match after the Huddersfield match.
Nice. I'm jealous.
Away match for me, going to London, and then to the match.
Nice.
Okay. There is no reason other than our playoff history for not thinking we can get the 3rd promotion spot. I agree with that, and this is my mentality. We've a completely different team now, and we haven't gone up through the playoffs. The last time we were in the playoffs was down in the National League.
Yeah, that's true.
So our team is completely different. But yeah, pressure of the games and having to take out 2 games in a row. Look, it's not the easiest task in the world. And generally speaking, you're against the better teams because they're in the top 6. So 2 tough games to get through. Don't want to do it, but if we have to, we have to.
Yep. Right. I think I have to head out now. So
okay, no problem.
Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
See you, man.
See you. Take care.
Bye.
Right. David Carr. Wrexham can still win. Birmingham have a few banana peeled. Well, they haven't so far. They have had bad matches, but they've managed to pull out the results. So they've got away with it. Aaron, what changes do you think we'll see this weekend? Maybe not too much. I think Scar should hopefully get in and get his shot. We kind of went over this early. You probably missed it. George thinks Cannon returns to the starting lineup. But
Yeah,
then
I think so too.
maybe not other changes. Yeah. Kim is saying Birmingham probably haven't figured out how to play Alfie May and Stansfield together yet. They'll likely get more dangerous, not less. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's so true.
Even though we lost today, I think we had a better shot today than 2 months from now. Absolutely. Okay, guys, any other particular topics that we want to get into? Anything we haven't covered? Throw it out there. What about the goals? We haven't gone through the goals. Marriott's goal. What did we think? Lovely strike, obviously from just outside the box or coming into the box. Definitely deserves his spot, is what we've come up with so far. And Mullen isn't ready to take his spot yet in the team. I think that's what we came up with.
Yeah, he just looks a lot more sharp than Mullen does right now. He'll get there. Yeah. He's just not there yet.
Yeah,
maybe by the end of October.
Do you think Mullen overreacted today?
I think so. I think he's frustrated from not playing. He's frustrated because we were losing and him not being in there. And, I think it just all of that kind of built up on him and lost his cool a bit. So, but I don't know. It had been hard not to do that in this game. So.
And what about potentially biting the other player?
Yeah, there's already a story on, what was it, the Daily Mail or somewhere talking about that.
Is there?
Yeah. Mullen almost bites another player. Is he a zombie? We may never know.
Of course. There had to be a story on that. I don't think Stace is coming back. She knocked herself out. That's okay. No problem. Does anybody else want to get in at the end of this before we finish up? I'm not in a particular rush, but we still have 140 people in here. But if we've covered most of it, then that's fine. Marriott's goal was caused by Max crashing in looking for the header. He blew up that left side of the goal. Yeah, again, Max getting himself in amongst it. He's going to score a couple of more goals this season. Definitely. He's getting in the right spots. He's getting into attacking positions in the box. So I can definitely see a couple of more goals from him.
Yeah, definitely. He's been looking sharp all season. I mean, he's just really blossomed this year, I think. Or towards the end of the year last year, but this year especially.
Talking about continuing with Mullen, I wonder if he'll get an after-game suspension from the EFL for the bite. He didn't bite. He started to bite, but stopped. I think that's called a nuzzling that dogs do. I think there's a word for it. He had a little nuzzle on the leg. But yeah, it's silly stuff, silly. Welsh pool about to pull a dog pool. Now that should be the headline of a story. That should be the headline of a story. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, I think we've covered most of it. What do you think? Anything else
I
we've
think
completely
so.
missed? I think the fact it's a loss kind of took the air
Yeah.
out of it a little bit, you know. But we've got some positives from it. We can do better. Not the end of the world, of course. We knew it was likely to lose this match away. I will be really interested to see the return of this at home.
Me too.
Are you thinking we've no hope in the return?
No, I think we've got a good shot because I mean we're going to be looking for, revenge for that and the home crowd. I think a lot of it today is we just didn't have that home crowd with us. You could barely hear our fans over the other 25,000 people there. So
Yeah, that is actually something that I did want to talk about and kind of forgot about a little bit. I don't know if our fans did enough. Now, maybe they couldn't because there's 30,000 people there, you
yeah, I
know?
think they're just drowned out.
So they probably were drowned out, but it was hard to tell.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to hear that from some people that were there at the actual match. Were we as loud as normal, or were we just drowned out by them, or did the crowd almost give up after the first 2 goals as well?
Probably a bit of both, probably.
Maybe.
Drowned out and everybody, down in the dumps because it was pretty ugly. So
Yeah. I'm trying to find this video here in YouTube. Not in YouTube, in the Discord. I don't know where it is.
the McLean video,
Yes.
I'll share it again so it'll come to the top.
Okay, which one are you dropping it into?
The Wrexham chat. Let's see.
So on social media now, we have Mullen biting a player. Hopefully we'll have all the wrestling to the ground, and we'll have Macca catching a beer. That should be fun.
All right, there you go.
Open in browser. Where? Oh, present.
It wasn't quite as dramatic as it seemed like when we first heard about it, but it's still pretty funny.
Okay, stop screen. Present. Share screen. There we go. Finally, gotcha.
He's talking shit the whole way out too. I mean, just the whole way out.
Why is he getting? Is he just getting escorted back to the team then, or because it looks like he goes out? Oh, there's the team as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
does he go down the tunnel? No. It
Yeah, he went
stops.
down. I thought he went down the tunnel, but maybe not.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just went back. I don't know if that was a beer can. Maybe it wasn't. We'll find out.
He's
Okay.
showing some leg at the beginning of the video. Oops.
Jimmy's. Okay. And so on this one, then I think we'll probably finish up here at roughly an hour and a half. From Hip Karma, I do love Macca. Don't we all? We all love our Macca. So, well, guys, I will probably see you on the very next match. Crawley match. We can do this again if everybody's enjoying it. Thanks very much for coming on, Nick. And guys, next week, if you want to come on, then by all means join us. We should have a few more next week because it is standard Saturday time. And until then, take care.
And on that bombshell.